Yo, Tank, thank you for that sub, that Prime sub. Yo, if you got a Prime sub, you get one free every month. Throw it up for the Savage. Thanks again, Tank. Patience, Sarah. What up, fam? How we doing? How are we doing? Just checking that good old S&P ripping today. Look at that S&P, fam. Look at that S&P, fam. Look at that rip. I mean, it's just been. Look at the daily, fam. It just keeps going. The stock market's unreal. Just blowing, S&P, fam. Right? Great, healthy trend. We got the 200 EMA. That's the orange one over the red 200 MA. That's just general speed, right? We haven't lost that since January 2023. So we turned bullish here. If you just go off of just the EMA and the MA of the 200s, right? For the S&P, just those two. You could have known when almost to sell. Cross bullet bearish here, but we kept going. The trend slowed down. This is a great way to see a speed of a trend, right? There's speed in trend. Aggressive trend is always going to have the respective EMA over the MA. So here I'm using the 200s as an example, fam. Orange is the 200 EMA and the red is the 200 MA. When the EMA and its respective MA, right, are flowing, right, you can see general speed of trend. We know the exponential moving average is going to move faster, hence it's bullish when it's moving like this. And then you can see it kind of slow down there. You see how we have a dip, slows down there, kind of gives you an idea. You never got bullish again, and then we started spreading out. This gave you a really good idea that this bigger kind of correction for the S&P right here was coming, right? You guys, the slow down of the trend, just use your 200s right there on the daily. And then they had to do this big correction. And then sure enough, fam, right? If you go back over, right, the bigger correction right here, we go over here, we'll circle where it got bullish again. And it even gives you right there, it gets bullish. And it gives you this perfect setup. Bullish, breakout, retest, boom. S&P's clean, fam. It's a very, very clean chart. Beautiful uptrend. We really haven't had. We had this little pullback here. Never really lost trend. Look how we tested it. See how we got tight. Never lost that speed and trend, and we just kept going. And it's flowing right now, fam. I mean, there's really no reason to be S&P bearish right now, or probably NASDAQ is looking very similar to this. And the reason I start with this is because this trend is no different for Bitcoin. Okay, so let's go over here to Bitcoin. We'll look at the Bitcoin chart. I got one right over here. Boom. Okay, we're going to look at the Bitcoin chart here. And you can see with the Bitcoin chart trend, right? And let's just go ahead and get rid of all the drawings. Hide drawings. Let's get rid of our 50 and our 21. Right there. Yo, Bitacade Lame. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. You can see right here, right? The trend changing. Okay. And just like we saw over here on the S&P, and I'll bring this back up. See how this great setup, you see, everyone see this great setup right there. Bitcoin has a very similar look. We got the cross, we started breaking down. We made a deviation below this breakdown, right? Something like this. Made it boom, and then take off. Now, if you used the same type of rules with Bitcoin, and this was inverted. Now, you got to think inverted now, fam, because now we went from the speed of, bullish here, getting trend back, to bearish for a very short amount of time, to bullish here, and we've been spread out, and now we're getting at least minimum to this zone right here, right? You can see that. Regardless, if you kind of use the same rules here, you could easily expect to see some type of, right, lower high before we go down. I think that's easily possible. And the reason I think that is because we have a couple things going on here, fam. I'm measuring volatility Like we're talking a bounce from this wick, right? I'm talking about a bounce from lower. Um, this bounce today that happened overnight, mostly Asian hours. If you had woken up early enough, you could have caught a really nice long this morning. But that 53K zone, fam, is a perfect kind of shallow retest for right now. And I don't think we're going to get new highs from this bounce. I want to make that very, very clear. But I do think that we're playing kind of a larger range. And because we're playing a larger range, there's really no reason to marry a direction here. I'm not going to sit here and argue with everyone about how it's bullish from here or bearish from here. I simply want to play the next big move. I think the next big move from here could easily be up. Again, I have a lot of confluence here. We have, look, 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap. If you want to call this maybe type of kind of bigger bull flag here that we're playing, maybe that's what we're playing, who knows. But again, I'm more looking for longs now down here. I think that's the play, and I think the play could roll over to alts a little bit. Not as in an alt season, but I think alts could recover pretty well. Obviously, alts are going to have a lot more volatility, fam, in general. But yeah, I think at this point in time, I want to look for longs. So if I can get back in that 55K area and grab a long there, or maybe we sweep this wick a little bit. But again, I think there's going to be a little bit of a nice little dead cat bounce here, a nice wave, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm playing wave to wave. This is a lot of time that we're talking about here. Like if I were to grab a long, I'm sitting on it for a week, maybe two, closer to the end of the month. I think that'd be a really good goal to kind of be patient here, right? If you want to see just top to bottoms here, and let's just call right this move down. If you had caught the top of this move at 72K, in which I had started already turning bearish up here. Regardless, I did not catch a trade. I would lie to you if you thought I caught a trade from 72K down to here. I certainly didn't. I chopped the trade down, which means more or less not got chopped, but I took chunks of this trade on the way down. I mostly was focused on shorts on this whole wave down here. And again, I think that these waves change, right? It's like the ocean. Sometimes you get a small current going down and you get an aggressive current going up. I think we could easily concede now that we've grabbed liquidity. We have we kind of went shallow into the support here, but this is support. I've talked about 53K a lot in people's replies, comments to me on Twitter, on Discord, but 53K is definitely an important level. I think at this point in time, again, just looking for longs is the right move. And I think if you just go off of fibs alone, and fibs are very important, fam. If you don't use fibs, you should. You could grab the golden pocket and have like a 70 to 80% probable trade on every wave all the way down to like the 15-minute, 5-minute time frame, to be honest. So good. We're kind of looks like we might get a pullback here. We got this small little trend going for right now. But yeah, in general, if you were just kind of starting and watch the beginning of the stream, right? I was talking about how the S&P trend has been aggressively bullish. We're looking at almost two different we're definitely looking at two different trends. Not just assets, but trends. The S&P turned bullish here. This is essentially kind of what you're seeing for Bitcoin, right? Is the trend turned bearish here. We're gonna dip below the daily 200s, probably play a little bit, meaning we'll bounce. Ever since Bitcoin the ETFs came out for Bitcoin, there's been a lot less volatility, a lot more round trips. This market has completely changed. The culture, the vibes on the day-to-day trading has definitely changed, fam. You can't round trip. I took profit on our longs this morning for a reason, because this long from here to here, hit it right into resistance, perfect area to TP is important. Nice. I think that's a really good trade take some profits, throw your stops in profit here, and then just ride it out. But can we get a pullback here and see maybe a daily close that goes green? That would look really good. If not, you could easily get. Now I'm not marrying this wick because it's just like the weekly wick that we saw last week where everyone got really bullish. But let's see, get rid of that guy again and guy. This daily candle wouldn't be bad. I mean, how far are we right here? We got we're about 56.4 and we're up to, if all we got to do is get close over 57K, that'd be definitely a good close for the bulls for right now. But again, I'm not going to marry any trade or direction. I would argue there's months of this type of chop left. This was a very nice move down from here to here. Take your profit on your shorts, get it, and then get out. That's anybody that grabbed a long here and then went to the top and then didn't take profit up here on grabbing this long or a long here, and you're an idiot because all you did was lose and you held a trade for X amount of time and that time is lost. Time is money. And so if I'm spending X amount of time and my favorite trades are always going to be a 3 to 6 hour trade where we just rip like we saw this morning where we had the 50, I woke up to 54.2, didn't long, thought about it, looked at the chart at like 6:30 in the morning, and then grabbed a long at 54.4 and took half off at 56.7, and that was what, a 4 hour 5 hour trade. Those are the ideal trades right now in this market. I don't think people need to be looking for aggressive longs, trying to catch the bottom. I think you'll have some nice indication of when that's going to happen, but in general, like we just had a 3-day Bitcoin cross, which is extremely bearish. Let's talk about that. And we'll talk about how we've never even had a cross or a close below the 3-day 50 post halving like this before. But, we have this 3-day cross. This is going to take time to reset here. We're going to spend probably somewhere between 9 to 15 days in 3-day candles sideways to flatten this out. And hopefully we don't lose, which is next up in line, the 5-day 50 MA. But, we're seeing a major trend change here, fam, on Bitcoin and crypto itself. Are we going to go down directly to hell from here? No. Again, I think that the ETF, the institutions kind of control this market a little bit more than what's went down. The liquidity is a little bit better, I guess. That's what I want to say. I don't know if that's the case, but it acts like the liquidity is better. It acts more like futures and stock trading. You got really choppy, round trips. Look at me. You could just see how many Darth Mauls. This was just hell for trading, and I did decent, but it still was hell for trading. I don't know how many. I at least round tripped in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I at least round tripped probably 3 or 4 really good trades. So where would I buy a spot? Now, Sarah, I think this next move is going to kind of indicate where I'm going to buy the next spot. You can see resistance here. Look, this is my plan here, fam. We got the 50 MA up here. I really think that now we've hit the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, the weekly Bollinger Bands. We'll get to that in a second. But I think that we could easily see a move up to 65K, a little bit higher, kind of get people bullish a little bit. This is a really major pivot. Look at this resistance here, support, resistance, support, support until loss. We grinded through it right there. And again, I think that if you're going to buy spot, you're trying to buy it on these wicks, but the risk here that you're taking on buying spot on these wicks down is that if we lose this area, really, more or less, we're in trouble. And I think that if we're bullish, we're going to see some type of here, here, right? And make a giant, we're gonna chop people out. We're gonna make a giant higher low. But if we break this bottom realistically, or the bottom that we're gonna make over the next couple days, because again, you heard my opinion, I do think that we're gonna see a little bit of a bottom here. If you do, if we don't break this bottom that we're seeing over the next couple days and make a higher low on the macro daily, again, this is lower lows now, fam, lower highs. This is a big deal, big trend change. I cannot express my concerns as much as I am already. But at this point in time, I can see us bouncing. We're going to see the reaction at a huge pivot at 65, 66K area. I think this is a very important retest. We could easily come back up here, grab some liquidity, and then go back down 66K. But we'll have to see. This is and then going over here to like something like Solana. All right, let's talk about Solana, because I think this is really important too. Really important, right? I'm going to use my fibs here. Don't know if that's it right here that I'm. Oh, okay. All right, so use your fibs, and I was showing this on a small time frame, so I'll just use like some support here. This is someone said, kind of this support looks strong, but the reality is this is like the bouncy ball effect here, fam. And we have, if we launch a bouncy ball off of a building here, and we have a bounce. Here's our bounce, right? And we've kind of just been, and this is kind of an inflection point for Solana, in my opinion. You got to break these highs at 152, 154, or otherwise, just expect a reversal and coming down. And if this happens, you got to wonder what's going to happen with Bitcoin. If we were to break down here, at least go towards the golden pocket, which is 109, 114. But I do think that we could come down here and see like the 100 area, 786, something like this, and then break up. So this is going to be a huge kind of week for Solana in general. Solana's held up very well. I get it. Let's go to Sol Bitcoin. I think I'm looking at the right chart. Hold on a second. Go to Sol Bitcoin. All right, here we go. All right, so Sol Bitcoin holding up very, very well, but we have a impending cross below us. So trend is definitely slowing down, but at the same time, again, Solana is one of the big boys, fam. Like Ethereum, Solana's holding this 5-day. We kind of have a pennant shape here, whatever you want to call it. But this is a very important. I think this is a very important time for the market. If Solana can break this, that would be very, very good. This 5-day, if we start closing below this 5-day on Sol Bitcoin, Solana is definitely in big trouble compared to Bitcoin, and that could happen right here. If you think about it theoretically, Bitcoin holds, chops down, whatever you want to call it, that could definitely happen right here, and you're not really paying attention, and Solana breaks through that level. But at this point, I'm not very. This isn't necessarily. Let's see the volatility. Yeah. This isn't necessarily bullish for Solana yet, unfortunately. You can see here that we're making lower highs, lower lows even. This isn't, I wouldn't even call this a falling wedge. I'm sure there's some idiot on Twitter is calling this like a falling wedge or something like this, but maybe. Maybe. Would love to get a chance. I think Cerro, if we can get Solana below 100 would be great. I'm not too bearish on Solana long term. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. I want to look at the 30-minute. All right, we're breaking down that trend. Don't think today's daily is going to close like we want, but 18 minutes left in this candle. Again, here's the daily. We can close that green, or we can even have a big wick here. Then we could see some type of bottom, right? I think that's going to be really important. See what we can get, fam. You know, I would go over all these other ones as well, but I don't, it's going to be direct based on Bitcoin direction. And if I think up, I think whiff, right? Could go up. I think Solana could go up here and then dump, right? We got time. This would make a lot of sense. Get people bullish again. They're distributing, fam. That's the deal, right? They're distributing. Let's see Bitcoin. Yeah, that would be. I'm not gonna lie. This looks like a really good plan. I wouldn't say the lower high part, but I want to see. I definitely want to see. I want to see us move up to here. Right, next couple days we get 2 wicks, kind of a tweezer bottom like this, build up, and then watch the reaction at 66K. That's. I don't think I can play it any other way. I don't think I can play it any other way at this point. I think that's a really good. I think we're just seeing a nice reaction too from 56K in general, right? We went down to 56.1. Let's see this here, like kind of 3-minute time frame. We'll see. Got some nice volatility here too. Oh yeah, another reason I do like Solana is the 3-day has some nice absorption on volatility in general. So it looks like we're getting some absorption here. Kind of overdue for a bounce, and could easily see, what is that, 66.4, 66.5 looks really good, juicy. I think this is where, fam, we got to be aggressive. Look for if you're day trading it like me, you want to be looking for longs all the way down to the wick area, to the bottom of that wick. Overnight wick, what is that, 53.7? Yeah. Yeah, there's no time to be rushing into positions over the weekend. You're right, Ripiano. But if we're going to make a bottom, it's going to be today and tomorrow. And I could totally see that. It's the weekend, like, right? Like, you got to realize when it's the weekend recently, the algo's been buying up the books, and it's been, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Soul $75. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna play it level by level. I think realistically 100 I think 113. I want to watch the reaction at 113 on Solana. There's a lot of reasons for that. It's the golden pocket. Yeah, it's the golden pocket here at 113. It's a retest of the 5-day. This is also a 5-day support resistance. I could see us. That's kind of 100 to 115 would be a great area to wick down into. We'll see. Again, I think Bitcoin has its own plans, and we'll just have to wait and watch. But listen, fam, if you want to come in the Discord, !Discord, let's see here. I think that link still works. Yeah, join the Discord. There's free ways to join the premium, sign up with my Blowfin ref link. You can get free access to the premium group. I give all my thoughts there. Right now I'm giving all my thoughts for free in the trading, the just the free whole group, entire group itself. But that's where I give all my thoughts, updates, daily updates. I'm doing this like Bitcoin or Sol's holding up very well while Bitcoin's dumping. That's interesting. You see that? Yeah. Sol's holding up very well. But yeah, go check it out. I'm gonna sign up. Blowfin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No worries, fam. I mean, I opened it up free yesterday, and both my ideas were right. So far, the longs this morning, the soul shorts yesterday. So, anyways, I appreciate all you. I'll try to get these live streams going off more often. Um, and y'all have a great weekend. I think it is good to be patient, but if you do see like a wick down on the daily Bitcoin, I would say let's see where we kind of go here. All right, just kind of 54.8, 57. Yeah, that's a big one, but I think 55.8, you gotta kind of pay attention here. This that right here. So that would make a lot of sense. Anyways, I appreciate everybody for coming by. I call it mad love. Join the Discord.